One sunny Sunday afternoon, the air outside Mercyville General Hospital smelled faintly of rain, but inside, chaos was brewing. A young black girl, no older than 10, had been rushed in after a roadside accident. Her face was pale, her arm bleeding heavily, and her tiny shoes still covered in dust from where she'd been hit. Nurses scrambled like bees around a hive, rolling carts, ripping open sterile packs, shouting for the on-call doctor. Shoes squeaked on the polished floor as they prepped the emergency room for what they knew could be a fight for the child's life. Then came the sound of brisk footsteps. Dr. Taylor, the only available senior physician. Everyone breathed a sigh of relief until he stepped inside, froze, and emerged seconds later, face twisted with disgust as if he'd smelled something rotten. "Are you kidding me?" he barked. "You dragged me in here for a filthy, black-skinned brat? My time is worth more than saving garbage." The hallway went silent. Even the IV drip seemed to pause mid-drop. One nurse gasped, another clutched her clipboard tighter. Phones were out instantly, live streams firing up faster than microwave popcorn. "Doctor, she's losing blood," one nurse yelled, her voice cracking. "You're the only doctor here. And you think I'm wasting my skills on this?" he cut in, pointing at the door like he was dismissing a stray dog. But fate wasn't done with him. At that exact moment, another figure entered, a tall, poised woman in a white coat, eyes narrowing as she took in the scene. "What's going on here?" she demanded. By the time the female doctor, Dr. Hernandez, stormed out of the emergency room, the hallway was a war zone of whispers, gasps, and cell phone flashes. People were talking over each other, replaying clips of Dr. Taylor's tirade like it was the latest scandalous reality show episode. Someone even shouted, "Yo, Taylor, you're trending for all the wrong reasons." The man's face flushed beet red, not from shame, but from the kind of ego that thinks it's bulletproof. The little girl's mother, who had arrived in tears mid-surgery, now stood in the corridor like a pillar of steel. Her eyes followed Dr. Taylor with a glare sharp enough to peel paint off walls. She didn't scream, didn't curse, just smiled the kind of smile you'd expect before a storm levels a city. Meanwhile, Dr. Hernandez returned with blood on her gloves, announcing, "The child is stable, thanks to an actual team of medical professionals who don't care about skin tone." Applause erupted from bystanders. Someone in the back yelled, "Yeah, Doc, maybe you should teach Taylor how to use a heart instead of just a stethoscope." The nurses smirked, but Taylor tried to wave it off, muttering something about overreacting. Outside the ER, local reporters were already setting up, microphones ready to catch the first juicy statement. Social media was flooding with the hashtag Dirty Dr. Taylor, and one viral clip showed him saying, "Rubbish, dirty black skin girl," with the kind of disgust that could sour milk. If you're enjoying this chaos, make sure to like and subscribe because this storm's just getting started. By Monday morning, the hospital boardroom looked less like a place for professional meetings and more like a courtroom drama. Moon sat in the back, arms folded, watching with quiet fire as Dr. Taylor tried to defend himself. His voice was shaky, but his arrogance clung on like cheap cologne. "I was simply under stress," he claimed, avoiding Moon's gaze. "My words were taken out of context." The board chair, a silver-haired woman named Mrs. Langford, slammed her pen on the table. "Dr. Taylor, the video is 30 seconds long. There is no other context." Moon could hear muffled chuckles from the nurses sitting behind her. Someone even whispered, "Hope he packed a cardboard box for his desk." Then the door burst open. Two lawyers strode in, one of them representing Moon's family. She carried a thick folder that landed on the table with a satisfying thud. "For the record," she began, "we have documented proof of prior complaints against Dr. Taylor for discriminatory remarks. This is not an isolated event. It's a pattern." Taylor's jaw tightened. "This is a witch hunt," he snapped. "Wrong," the lawyer shot back. "This is accountability." The room went dead silent. Outside the boardroom windows, a small crowd of protesters had gathered, holding signs that read, "Patients deserve respect and no racism in healthcare." A few cameras flashed from the press waiting near the entrance. Moon smiled faintly. This wasn't just about her anymore. This was about every patient who'd been treated like less than human. Dr. Taylor's downfall came faster than anyone expected. By Friday, the hospital had issued a public statement on its website and social media pages. "We have terminated Dr. Andrew Taylor effective immediately, following an internal investigation into his conduct. The hospital stands firmly against racism, discrimination, and abuse of any form. Moon read it twice, just to savor the words. Outside the hospital, a wall of reporters waited. When Taylor emerged, no longer in his pristine white coat, but in a wrinkled shirt and carrying a small cardboard box, microphones flew toward him. Do you have any comment on the allegations? Are you planning to apologize to Moon? How does it feel to have your medical license under review? He pushed through them, muttering, "No comment," but the cameras caught every second. The humiliation, the stares, the way even former colleagues avoided making eye contact. Moon, standing across the street with her lawyer, didn't need to say a word. She simply held her head high. People who had never spoken to her before began to nod in silent support. A few even clapped. Weeks later, Moon learned the medical board had revoked Taylor's license permanently. The man who once barked insults in a hospital corridor now couldn't legally check a patient's pulse. And the video? It became a mandatory part of the hospital's diversity training, forever immortalizing the moment arrogance met its reckoning. Moon didn't just win, she changed the place.